Hello Patreon friends. Today I'm going to do a paint with me video. So if you would like to paint with me, I'm going to kind of explain what I'm doing as I paint this to the best of my ability. So yeah, I chose this leaf. I thought it was really pretty and interesting, and I love painting autumn leaves because they already look like they're done in watercolor. And and you can't really mess them up too much, so it's just something simple that I thought would be a good way to start out with paint with me videos. I think everyone should be able to do this, and it will turn out very nice. So the first thing I'm going to do is sketch the leaf out very lightly. I like to use H pencils because they are very, very hard, and it doesn't really allow me to write too dark. I like to keep it as light as I can so that whenever I do the watercolor, it will be nice and like you won't be able to see it. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the side. I'm going to include a picture of this leaf so you can use it as a reference so it doesn't have to be on the video the whole time. Hopefully this isn't too exposed. I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see this pencil because it's so light. So I'm just going to do the basic outline. Kind of goes up in the middle, down. I actually don't know what kind of leaf this is. I'll have to research it so if I can find out. I'm not really super happy with that. Okay. And then I'm kind of going to put, I don't know what these are called, the spines, just a real light line where the spines are, just so I can kind of have an idea of where I am on the leaf. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, so that's about it. It's not like, I don't have the shape exact, but you know what, it's fine. Okay, so this leaf, well, let's go back a minute. For watercolor, you have to start with the lightest color because you can't, it's not opaque. You have to use the paper as the lightest part. So this, it doesn't have any white in it, but the yellow is definitely what we'll have to put down first. And I love the way the brown and the like, not this brown, the dark brown is more spots, but this brown and the yellow kind of look like watercolor, like they're, what's the word, like merging into each other in a nice feathery watercolory type fashion. So first I'm going to put down the yellow, a layer of yellow, and then I'm going to let that dry. So let's do that. Let's see, it's kind of a golden watercolor, but not as bright as, the actual paint palette. So I'm going to take this other yellow that I have and mix a few different together. See, and that's still like super bright. I'm not even sure. But we will be doing a couple layers. So even if I put it down this bright, it'll be made a little more dull whenever we add some of the other shading and stuff like that. Okay, so I've kind of mixed together like 3 different yellows here, and I don't know. I kind of feel like that's pretty good. So anyway, I'm just going to fill in the whole leaf for now. And this is just the base color. And even though this is brown right here, I still want to put the base color as yellow, because we'll be going over that and it'll be fine. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit into the spine here. Now, see how my paper is kind of lifting because of the water? That drives me nuts. So I'm going to put this clip on, keep it flat. So I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit more. Okay, so I've let this dry mostly. Like when I touch it, I can touch it without ruining the paint, but it's definitely still teeny tiny bit wet. So now I'm going to work with these darker spots. And I'm not positive how I'm going to do it yet. Sometimes I just have to experiment, you know? So I'm going to use this brush. So I'm going to mix up a little darker of a brown. So I'm going to take this sepia brown and some of this is just regular old black. And that's a little too black for me, so I'm just going to add some more of this. So it's like a brown black. So I gotta see how, like, since it's a little bit damp, the paint might spread a little bit whenever I put it on there, and I do want it to do that. I don't want it, if it's 100% dry, it'll have like harsh lines, and I don't want that to happen with this one because these are very organic looking, like little splotches. So I'm just gonna maybe start at the top here and see what happens. And it doesn't look like it's going to spread it all up here, which is okay. So I'm going to take another brush with just water on it and kind of help it out a little bit here. So and by doing that, I've realized that I'm going to have to add a little bit more water to the paper to make it do what I want. So I'm going to add some water without any paint on it, but not too much. We're not going to make a puddle. We're just going to make it a little bit damp. Because see how that's already kind of spreading on its own. So I might have put too much water. I'm going to dab this up a little bit. So let's see. Let's see. Wow, it's already doing its thing. I don't even have to paint anything. So I'm just going to touch in some of the color. I have almost too much color on my brush. Sometimes I use multiple brushes because I have a lot of color on this, but I don't really want to wash it out because I don't want to waste that color. I'm going to use it still. So just going to take, this is just a brush that's damp to kind of manipulate the colors here. So it's kind of blotchy here, so I'm just going to do some speckles and stuff. So I only put water down to here, so I'm going to keep going around the edge. Just a little brush of moisture. And here's my brush that has a lot of ink on it. Ink, whatever. And going around the edge. Yeah, I like to use, a different wet brush to just kind of gently push the color around, so it helps it like blended better, just like a nice gradient. So Neko, I don't know if you can hear that. He's sleeping. And he's dreaming right behind me. Little cute little guy. Okay. So if you hear some weird groaning, that would be Mr. Dog. Need a little more water. See all these dots right here? I don't know if you can really see it, but it's like there was no water under it, so it was like harsh. That's not what I'm going for, so you have to put a little bit more water underneath. But don't forget, do not work with it too much or the other colors will lift up. Since this is watercolor, that's what it does. If it was acrylic, there would be no chance. Okay, so I'm gonna go back up here, do another layer. See, and I'm kind of taking this brush that has only water on it and kind of like dabbing where it's really thick with color and just using it to move the color around. Okay, so now I'm going to work in this area and just do the same thing. Add a little water. Might be a little too much. Okay. Got this. Do some dabbing. It's really bright, so I'm gonna dab it around. I hope what I am doing here is making sense, because it's really hard to describe for some reason. I'm just like, yeah, just keep dabbing, 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 dabbing. Not the dance. That's for a different time, a different place. Okay. I'm kind of rinsing my water brush out a little bit in between each time, so because I have picked up some of the paint here and there, and I don't want to do that. Just wetting this part down to do the same thing. Okay, there's some big areas right here. As you can see, I'm not making it exact at all. It's just kind of a reference to make your own version. There's actually a little bit of reddish tint around this edge, more than I've put before, so I'm going to add that in. And over here, I've realized that there's definitely red tones in there, so, you know, reddish brown tones. So I'm going to go in over here a little bit with a little bit more layering. And there's a helicopter going over. There's always helicopters going over around here. Like always, being near DC, I guess. There I go again. Oh well. It's just my sketchbook, so it's not a big deal, but I do it constantly. Okay, let me take a look at this. I think I'm going to go around the edges a little bit and just kind of... Oh, I should have turned this on the whole time. I'm so sorry. I should have... Or I'm going to go around the edge here and just refine it, like make it a little bit more smooth. Okay, so one thing about watercolors is it dries lighter than when it's wet. So I can already tell you that I want to darken some of these super dark spots. So I'm going to just go in right now with that. Some of the spots aren't dry, and that's fine because I want it to do a little bit of spreading. Right here it's pretty dry, so I'm going to... adding some more of the red tones down here and some of the darker ones. So I think I'm going to pause and let this fully dry to see how it looks, and then I'm going to decide what to do next. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use these are water-soluble pencils. Now, I know that you might not have these, and you don't have to use them to get, because this already looks pretty good to me. You could actually just use a pencil, but I'm going to go in and just refine a little bit more with these lines, give it more of a sketchy feel. I think what I'm going to use, I don't really know what I'm doing with these. I'm kind of just learning myself. This is actually a kind of a red, earthy red pencil, and this is It's just called light wash. It's just like a pencil, only whenever you add the water to it, it will be like a gray wash. Do have this clay colored one. I might try to use it, but I haven't really liked the colored ones here as much. They're just like this brand as opposed to these ones. Whatever. So I'm just gonna play around because I don't really know. That's how I learn. Just kind of play around and see what happens. So this is the red one. I think I'm just gonna, like, it won't even really look like anything until I add water. It just kind of looks like nothing. Okay, let's see what happens whenever I don't know. That's why I said I don't even know if this is necessary. I'm just kind of playing around and adding some more stuff. Let's see. I'm actually going to take this. This is the light wash. I'm going to go over some of these spines. Let's see. And once again, not trying to be perfect because I don't do that. But seriously though, I don't aim for perfection. I don't aim for making it look like a photo, because if I wanted a photo, I would just take a photo. I want art. I want something that's kind of dreamy, that's kind of special, different than a picture. I don't really know how else to put it. It's the time of day when everybody's taking their dogs on a walk, so my dogs are at the door guarding the house, I guess. Okay, so I put those lines in here, and I'm just gonna just kind of wet them down. It's not really doing that much, but whatever. I just kind of like how it softens it a little bit. Thinking here. Let's see this clay one. I'm not sure. Just not sure. Let's see what it got. Let's get some. It's alright, I don't know. This one's just not as dark. It's like, eh. Where did I put? This is dark wash, which is basically not the light wash, but it's the dark wash. So I'm going to use that. Yeah, I'll add some of this red because I'm not sure if this is dark enough in here. I don't know. The stuff I'm doing right now is just kind of, I don't know, not really necessary. Okay, so since this is really speckly and I love speckles, I want to actually do some speckles with it. But I know a lot of people don't have masking fluid, and I'm too lazy to paint masking fluid around this, and I don't want the speckles to get outside of it. So what I'm going to do is... you could get some tracing paper or any paper really. This is like a marker paper that's kind of thin. So what I'm going to do is trace around this in a very what's the word? Non-specific. I don't know. And I'm going to cut it out. So, oops. And actually, I'm going to save this and use it in a minute, actually. But let's do this first. I'm just going to put this down. I'm going to move this clip so it lays flatter. Now, whenever you're doing speckles, you can either do it with paint, or you can do it with these type of watercolor pencils. But I'll just do it with this ink for today. So let's see. So I'm gonna make this dark color a little more of it anyway, because you need enough of it to be able to pick up a bunch of it in the brush and spatter it. But when you spatter it, it has to be very pigmented, because to get it to spatter, you will tend to add a lot of water. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway. So I got pretty liquidy here, but still very dark. Now, something I learned once that is very helpful. A lot of times people will go like this, but to me, I think there's more control this way. So I'm just gonna very lightly. I think I actually want that a little bit more transparent. Something else I'm going to use, I have an old toothbrush here, because that gets you some really fine lines. Where did I put it? Here it is. Of course, I didn't clean it out last time I used it. Bad. There was white on it. Okay, so I got this old toothbrush, so I'm just going to do that. This gives you some really fine spatters. I feel like I also want to do some spatters of the more reddish brown tint. So I'm going to mix some more of that. So I had this one. Okay, but I'm going to just go in with the toothbrush with that one. I'm not going to overdo it though. Okay, real quick, I'll show you how to do it with the water-soluble pencils while I'm at it. Get one out here. Here's a brown one. You get a tiny brush, put it, kind of paint the tip of this until it's, you know, you can start to see the paint coming off, and just go like this. I don't know if it's as strong of a color though when you do it with that, so that's why I don't always use that. Okay, so I took that paper up. Now I'm gonna let this dry because we still have more to do. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is make the shadow under the leaf. Now you put the shadow on, it makes it look really realistic. Like, see, it's just a light shadow underneath. So what I'm going to do is kind of take the leaf, the real leaf, and put it down and kind of either use the actual shadow that I'm seeing, or, you know, you can make it up in your own mind too, because you just have to decide what side you want the light coming from and put it under in the right direction. Now, I can tell from the camera you're not really seeing that much of a shadow at all, but there's a little bit here. But from where I'm sitting, there's a really big shadow right here and here, and then a little bit lighter coming off here. So I'm probably going to do something like that. So, to do that, I need to make a little space here. I'm going to use this black, oh, I forget what black this is. It might be more of a Payne's gray. No, this is terrible. I'm not sure. It's more of a blue black, and this is more of a brown black, but I like the blue black. And sometimes for shadows, I even add a touch of purple in it as a cool thing. So I have this little bit of color that I mixed now. And once again, I'm going to get some clean water on my brush. And I'm going to go around the leaf where I'm going to put this shadow in, just to wet it down just a tiny bit. And now go in with the color and just go around the edge. And the reason I put the water on it because I wanted the edge of the shadow to be soft. Okay, so I'll go in some more water right here. There's a really dark shadow under it from where I'm sitting. I got a little too much water, so I'm going to dab that up. Okay, and then you see that the stem has a bit of a shadow, so I'm wetting it using mostly the water first, but then I'm going to just do this, put a little streak. Blend out that edge a little bit. Okay, so now I want that to dry a little bit. Okay, so remember this that I haphazardly cut out of this? Well, now we're going to use this if you want to. I like to add spatters in the background, but I don't want it, I want it to be a different color and I don't want it to get on my leaf. So I'm going to cover up the leaf. I'm trying to decide what color to put. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some purple. But I'm going to cover up my other page here because I don't want it to get on that either. So let's get, I'm just going to add some more purple to that black up here. Now, load up this brush. I'm going to concentrate on putting the spatters around the four corners. I guess more concentrated around the corners. I'm going to add some more water so I can have a few different shade variations. And I'm going to bust out my toothbrush again for the heck of it. Do some finer speckles around the edge. Ooh, fun. Okay. Voila. So yeah, and sometimes I even go around the edges of the leaf with some pen or some ink. That's really up to you what you want to do with your style. Let me look at these. I'm referring back to my other page. Yeah, as you can see, sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. These ones have a little bit of an outline. This one does not. This one does. So, I don't know. I'm kind of satisfied with the way this one turned out. Yeah. I always date my drawings in my sketchbook because I just want to remember what date I did it so I can refer back, and I don't know, it's just good to remember. So let's see what today's date is. It's October 28th. I'm going to put it up this way on the side. Yay! Then, of course, you can sign it if you want to. I'll put a little signature for the heck of it. Okay. I hope this was fun. I hope you learned something. And thank you so much for being my Patreon. Or my patrons in my Patreon. I really, really appreciate you all. And yeah, let me know if you do this painting. I would love to see how yours turned out. Thank you. Bye.